This is a new course that is Managing Information and Knowledge. I'm starting the lecture. The unit aim is to provide the learner with an understanding of the importance of information and knowledge to organizations and the key concepts of managing information and knowledge in a business setting. Now, in general, if you see these terminologies, information, knowledge, these are very common. Like everyone is using it, whether he's literate or illiterate. But in the organization, in the corporate sector, these two assets literally are very important. If there is miscommunication, there is going to be mismanagement of the whole information and knowledge, and the business can collapse at any time. Learners will gain an understanding of the sources of information and knowledge. Now, sources are of two kinds, primary and secondary. Primary is the new one on which no one has ever extracted information or has done a research. And secondary one is that you're doing amendments in it. How this is shared and ensuring its reliability and validity, because you do not know what kind of information is true and authentic and which knowledge is going to be perfect for us. So we have to see, double check the reliability and validity as well. In addition, there is opportunity to understand policies, procedures, legislation, and best practice for managing information, just like regulations, legislation, compliance, that is laws and regulations, everything abide by the government and its agencies. We do have certain process and methods which we have to follow to attain a perfect knowledge and information to pursue with the projects. Okay, and this is clear to you people that we have to only use a small medium enterprise as an example in your assignment brief. In this unit, we are having, I think, if I'm not wrong, three or four, yes, four learning outcomes in the specific assessment criteria: pass, merit, and distinction. And underneath, we're having the indicative content. These are very important. For those assessment criteria, if you do not find the points underneath the indicative content, you have to definitely search on the internet. And that is going to be, if I say, you have to talk about limitations or strengths or benefits, they must be 5 each. This is the limit. Today we will be doing LO1 in the start and assessment criteria 1.1. And in lecture number 2, inshallah, we will be doing, what do we call it, 1.2 and 1M1. Understand the meaning and sources of information and knowledge for the workplace. We are going to talk in depth definitions about the information and knowledge, and with that, what is the importance of it with the essence of source and organization, that is the workplace. Understanding the meaning and sources of information and knowledge for the workplace is crucial for making informed decisions and achieving organizational goals. Why these two elements are very important? First, we have to take informed decisions. Informed decisions are those decisions in which everything is pre-calculated and pre-decided. You only have to take actions regarding it. And all the decisions which we take, whether they are strategic or on the daily basis or some emergency one, they are all based and aligned with the goals of organization. These sources can be categorized based on the various dimensions, that is base, including the origin of the information, that is from where you have got the information, whether it's a first-hand information or a second-hand information, and the nature of the data, from what kind of source was it, from where you extracted the information. It could be word of mouth, it could be newspaper, it could be a letter, an article from the internet, a research paper, and so on. First, jumping towards the primary and secondary sources. These are the original materials or the first-hand information. They include data obtained through research, surveys, experiments, observations, and direct experiences. Primary sources are often more reliable and credible. So what are primary sources? They are the new, unique, raw data which we fetch for the very first time. And they are obtained, that is, we get the first-hand information, the primary research or resource from first the research, that is, you're going to do for the rigorous research, then surveys, asking different questions from different targeted people or a community, experiments, dividing the people or the product in various groups, and then we're going to see the examinations. Observations, by inculcating the experiment, you're going to observe that if I'm going to apply this tactic, what will be the result within 6 months? And 12 months and direct experience is the way you experience by your own self. However, secondary sources, these are interpretations or the analysis of primary sources. You people know that the description of the command verb analysis is all about importance, significance, positive and negative aspects, with that in detailed depth. Why? It is necessary here as well because once you get the information which is raw, you are going to do a thorough analysis on it. You need to see it from every aspect. Now, these include books, articles, and other literature that discusses, reviews, or synthesizes the information from the primary sources. Other literature means the case studies, past papers, research articles, AGM journals, and different extracts from different sources. And then we have to synthesize that. Whatever the information was, we're going to do a proper debate on it so that we can have enough resource with us. Secondary sources can provide valuable insights and perspectives, but may not always be as reliable as primary sources because primary is the one you are doing it by your own self. The authenticity is going to be legit. But in the secondary, you are doing a further work on someone else's creation or invention. Then we have two kinds of data as well. These are all from your indicative content, by the way. Qualitative and quantitative data. Qualitative is this type of data is descriptive and often deals with qualities, characteristics, and non numerical information. It includes observations, interviews, case studies, and open ended survey responses. Qualitative data provides a deeper understanding of attitudes, behaviors, and motivations. Data is more descriptive and it deals with the qualities and characteristics. Why? Because you have to do in depth analysis in it as well. It is not a narrative data, it is pure descriptive. With that, what you will be doing with the qualitative data, you are going to observe things. You have to ask different questions from the people. With that, you are going to make case studies as well. And open-ended surveys are always the one in which you have given the question to an XYZ person and he can ask you back as well. In this way, you are going to have proper understanding of what the steps you have to take in the organization. Whereas quantitative, this type of data is numerical and measurable, often collected through structured methods such as surveys, experiments, and statistical analysis. Numerical and measures all measurable data means you are going to include all the numbers. It could be of different methods from different extractions, but all are going to be have numbers in it. With that, how we extract them through surveys, that is 50% people were agreeing on this and 40% were not. Experiments conducting on different products or the people or the groups as well, and doing statistical analysis. We have different softwares for it, and these are mostly done by the economists. Quantitative data is essential for making statistical inferences, analyzing trends, and identifying patterns or relationships within the large data sets. Now, these programs and softwares, which are for the quantitative data, they cannot be run on small data. They have large occupants, and then we do run things on it. Why? To set and to see the differences and to set a trend as well. With that, they are working on the statistical inferences as well. What it is again dealing up with the numbers, but with appropriate technique and tools. Then we have internal and external sources. These include data and information generated within the organization. All the information which is generated or which is discussed between the employees, colleagues, is an information. They can be financial records, including the income statement, a statement of financial position, cash flow, changes of equity. Everything is going to be discussed here when we're discussing the sources internally. Employee performance report, which we do, if you remember, KPI indicators. Customer feedback, what are they demanding from the producers? We are going to exactly make things according to their likes and dislikes. And internal memos. If a decision has to be taken, why together a large meeting, we can send memorandums to everyone. Because already the systems are connected at the organization, we have CRM installed. Internal sources provide insights into the company's operation, performance, and culture. Now, all the sources which are internally available to the people who are working inside the organization, they are actually helping in what sense? in the daily activities of the organization, managing the expenses, profit, assets, liabilities, drawings, everything, and the performance of the employees as well, and making the culture as a beautiful norm too. Then we have external sources. These encompasses data and information obtained from outside the organization. That is what your rivals are doing, what your competitors are doing, what other people in the same industries are doing. They can include market research reports, that is what is in, what is obsolete, what is in trending in the market. Industry analysis. Now, with the market, we have industry as well. Industry is quite large, and then we came up with the market. We have to do the analysis because to compete with everyone, we need to be at the front line. Government publications, they could be about laws and regulations, it could be about new things, it could be about subsidies and grants which are given to the producers mostly. And information from the competitors, what they are doing, what they are working on new product, what are the prices, whether they are up for the sales or not. Customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. And these three entities are too important as well. That is consumers. Our whole demand and supply is depending on them. Suppliers, again, we need to keep them very happy because we're getting the raw materials from them. We are doing their credit purchases with them. But although it is a very crucial relationship between a producer, excuse me, and the supplier, but again, we need to keep them happy. And other stakeholders include employees and all other shareholders who have purchased a share in your organization. They have a say in the organization. External sources help organizations understand market trends, what is in, consumer preferences, what is demanded the most, regulatory changes, that is laws and regulation abide by the government, and industry best practices. Because industry itself has a law as a norm as well. Many competition, many new organizations and companies are always coming and try to penetrate into the market, but most of them just get kicked out. Kick out. Why? Because it's not easy to set in the trend setting or the trend competition. It's very difficult. So now are you getting what we will be having a talk in learning outcome number one?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, 1.1, that is explain the meaning, definition of information and knowledge and their interrelationship. Now, most of the time, although this is very important, it should not be done in one paragraph. It should be discussed in detail because there is a proper relationship between both of them. You cannot, perform separately both of them, information on a very separate part and knowledge. Both have a proper relationship with each other. Okay, command verb explain means make something clear to someone by describing or revealing relevant information in more detail. That is, whatsoever the points which are presented in the indicative content, you need to do a thorough analysis of it, provide examples wherever it is possible for you people, and a great explanation. The concept of information and knowledge are interconnected but distinct in their meanings and applications within organizational context. Why it is different with the organization context? Because every organization is performing differently from the other. An A organization, like just an A, going to have a different organizational structure. The methods are going to be different. The goals and objectives are going to be different. And when we're going to compare that organization with B, C, and so on, everyone has its own method of directives, leadership styles, and so many things. So you cannot collide both the knowledge and information every time with every organization. The first thing, information refers to the data that has been collected internally or externally from the various sources. Why internally and externally? Because we are not only solely talking about the internal organization. We only need information, just a hint to pursue our research on it, on any topic, any product, any invention, any creation. It could be from the outside, it could be from the inside. It can include raw facts, figures, statistics, observation that have been gathered and organized for the reference or analysis. First, we are going to cater everything. We need to collect everything which is right in front of you, and then we are going to do proper analysis on it from every aspect. Information can be structured or unstructured. That is, sometimes you get the information in a perfect manner. You do not need to do thorough research on it or more um, hard work on it. But sometimes you have to find tips and bits from different locations, from different organizations, from different people, from different countries as well. And then you come up with a new product or something new. I came to know that Ray-Ban, the brand of a glasses, now they have launched a new glasses that can literally click up the pictures and it can attend the calls as well. And it's just a pair of glass as well. And it has many other features to attach to it. So this is a big invention. This was not possible to be held at one area or at one organization. It was the effort of different people of different states. And then they came up with this new unique thing. And, as the foundation for the knowledge generation and decision making. Why any kind of information is necessary? Because we need to have a proper discussion on it further so that we can make it fruitful for our decision making process. Then we have categories of sources. First is internal information, and then we have external. Internal is data generated within the organization, such as financial records, operational metrics, and employee performance reports. Now, how we collect the information internally from inside the organization? First is the record, all the budgeting and all the financial profit information, income statement, balance sheet, changes of equity, cash flow statement, knowing the cash inflow and outflow status. That's going to be at the records part. Then operational metrics, what is going on the daily basis? That is mostly working capital here. And employee performance reports. What is the status of the employees? What are the ratio of new employees, old employees, the one which are working way too hard, the one which were working on the new inventions or the new techniques? Whereas external data obtained from the sources outside the organization, including market research, reports, industry analysis, and information from the competitors, consumers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. Again, a bunch of stakeholders, including the shareholders as well. These are important because we take the information from them as well. Sometimes our product is a hit, sometimes it's a miss. How do we know that? From the sales. And secondly, how the satisfaction ratio is from the consumers. So this is how you obtain the information from the external area, from outside. Now we have knowledge. Knowledge is the understanding and awareness that is derived from the analysis and synthesis of information, along with the integration of data, opinions, facts, and conclusions. So what the knowledge is? First thing, it's an awareness. You have the information about the breast cancer, but you are not able to know it in depth. You are not able to educate the other people about it. You do not know how to tell people about the brain tumors and the other health issues related to it. For that, what you're going to do, you're going to do the awareness. You can use the social media platform. You can go in-house. You can have workshops. How do we get that? From analysis and synthesizes of information. We are going to do in-depth analysis of everything we have in the information part. With the integration of data, we are going to amalgamate the data as well. We are going to conjoin them too so that we can have a proper decision. Opinions, facts, what do you think? What are the realistic things? How we can come up with this issue or a problem, or we can take over a project or a company. It represents a deeper comprehension of the underlying patterns, relationships, and implications presented in the collected information. Information is a raw data. We do get it sometimes from someone else, and sometimes you're doing it by your own self. But knowledge is about you're going to just break it into different parts and you are going to extract its and bits from it so that you can have a proper knowledge about XYZ thing. We do have information of many courses like what is economics, what is accounting, what is chemistry, physics, biology, and stuff, but we do not have a knowledge of it. If I talk with a 6-year-old child or a 7-year-old child in a class, basically, not a child, a class grades, standards. We're going to literate them. They're going to gain the knowledge. Just like you people, managing information and knowledge, maybe it's new to you, maybe it's not. But what are you getting right now? You're getting knowledge. I'm breaking the words to make it easier for you people so that you can have knowledge at least. These are the really daily things. We do discuss that do you know that about this? Do you know about that? That's an information. But you have done a research so you can have a proper debate or a talk on it. Categories of the sources: primary, secondary, qualitative. Primary is original materials or the first-hand information obtained through research, surveys, experiments, and direct experiences. We discussed this that all everything which is first-hand, which is brand new, it could be in the form of survey, open-ended survey or close-ended surveys. It depends. In which you are not able to answer back, but you can only give the answers on the scale of 10 or choosing an option in conducting different experiments. Whereas secondary, interpretations or the analysis of information, which is from the primary sources, often found in the books, articles, and other literature that discuss or synthesize information from the primary sources. The authors, when they write the book, do you think that they have a proper sense of it? They just only have information, they are observing, and they just do the writing and so on, and then they're able to proceed it in a book, and we do get it, and then we are able to have a knowledge of that specific course or a specific thing. Like different novels, sometimes they're quite nice, sometimes they're quite included as well. Qualitative data, descriptive information that provides insights into attitudes, what is the depth, behaviors, that is the analysis, and motivational factors, often collected through observations. How do you see the world from your eye? Interviews and open-ended survey responses. Interviews so that we can know that whether the experiment, whether the information they are gaining is up to the mark or not. And in open-ended, we are going to have two-way communication. Quantitative data, numerical and measurable information obtained through the structured methods such as surveys, experiments, and statistical analysis. Again, the statistical analysis, we're going to use the tools and techniques and specifically softwares which are to measure the stats, probability, chances, then derivations, everything is going to be here in SPSS, RSS, they will be discussed here. Internal insights and expertise developed within the organization through the synthesis of internal information experience. Because when we're in the organization, it's not possible we do not talk with each other. We do talk on different topics, we do discuss the projects going on and the projects we can have, what the competitors are doing, because some people, some employees are happy, some employees are not happy. With that, what are we having a discussion on the knowledge, the perception, whereas external understanding gained from the external sources, that is from the outside, including industry best practices. Even in the industry ranking, we're having separate industry of food, we're having separate industry of pharmaceuticals, separate industry of chemicals, and so on. They're having their own norms, and it differentiates them from the others, from the industry. Then we have markets and then companies and so on. Market trends and insights from the stakeholders outside the organization. Outsiders are the consumers, the government, mainly. Interrelationship. The interrelationship between information and knowledge lies in the process of transforming raw data into meaningful insights and understanding. So, what is the relationship between the information and knowledge? First, the data is raw, it is untouchable. It was so unique that nobody did an invention or a research on it, and you were the one to have a proper talk or research on it. And then we're going to have, when you're going to gather enough data in the knowledge part, then we're going to have a deeper understanding. Information serves as the raw material for the knowledge creation. So I think it's clear to you till now that information is a raw data, something very unique, new. Nobody has done a research on it. And when we have to perceive knowledge, we're going to do the research on it. In this way, what we are getting, we're getting the knowledge. While knowledge in turn informs the decision making and drives actions within an organization. Once we have the information, we are working on the knowledge now. Once we have the knowledge now, we are going to take the decisions in the organizations, in the corporate sector accordingly, right? Is it clear, the concept? Because most of the time, students are confused in this concept.
No, ma'am, it's understandable.
Alhamdulillah, I'm happy. Then, effective utilization of both information and knowledge is essential, necessary for fostering innovation. When you're going to have a perfect stance of both the components, then what you are going to do? You're going to have a pathway on the innovations, working on something new, unique, improving the performance of the employee, and achieving the objectives of the organizations as well, which is the utmost thing because we can change the objectives, but we need to collide it with the goals as well. Just an example, a marketing team is analyzing the consumer data to understand buying patterns and preferences. The raw data collected from the various sources, such as sales transactions, website interactions, and consumer feedback forms, represents information. Now, what it is? It is just in a sense you're getting an information about it that it's just an organization in which they have to work on the buying pattern of the consumers, the essence from their side. Through the data analysis and interpretation, the team identifies trends, correlations, and consumer behavior insights, turning into raw data into meaningful information. Once they saw the pattern of the buying behavior of the consumers, maybe in London it could be different, in Reading it could be different, in Cardiff it could be different, and so on. And then they are able to conclude on the policies. As a team member discuss and synthesize this information collected, they draw upon their collective experiences of different people, managers, frontline workers, employees, and the board of directors too, expertise, some are more experienced, some are the normal ones, and industry knowledge to derive actionable insights and strategic recommendations. If the sales are not perfect for an XYZ product, that is the buying pattern of the behavior, right? So what they're going to do, they can reduce the price or they can upgrade with the quality or they can do for an offer. Buy one, get one free or buy two, get one free. In this scenario, the transformation of the raw data into actionable insights exemplifies the interrelationship between information and knowledge in a business context. So this is the whole crux of today, lecture 1, LO1 and assessment criteria 1.1. I hope it is clear to you.